Let me tell you something. The financial decisions you make in your 20s, they are, without a doubt, some of the most critical of your entire life. Seriously, they can put you on the fast track to wealth or lock you into a struggle for decades. So let's talk about the purchases that can literally make or break your future.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Your 20s can create or destroy your fortune. It's so true. A single bad purchase can set you back for years, while the smart choices you make now can compound into just incredible wealth down the road. The difference between those two paths? It often comes down to just a few key decisions. So the big question is, how do you learn from these super expensive mistakes without having to make them yourself? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to break down 7 of the most common and costly errors. Think of this as getting all the wisdom without any of the financial pain. Let's dive in.
Okay, our first major trap is something I think we've all fallen for at some point, confusing what's cheap with what's actually a good deal. And believe me, those two things are rarely, if ever, the same thing.
You see, when you're chasing a low price, you're only thinking about the money you're spending right this second. But when you seek high value, you're thinking bigger. You're thinking about the quality, how long it's going to last, and the true worth of something over time. Getting this difference is absolutely the first step to spending smarter.
Just take these 2 stories. In one, a super cheap lock was bought to protect a really valuable company car. A week later, the car was gone. The broken lock was literally left on the curb, almost like an insult. Then you have the lure of a 10% discount on designer clothes. That deal led to signing up for a high-interest store credit card. A year later, with the balance barely touched, the interest payments had completely wiped out any savings and then some.
You know, there's an old saying for a reason. The cheapskate pays twice. You pay once with your money, and you pay a second time with regrets and a whole lot of frustration. And this idea of a hidden cost, well, that leads us right into our next category of mistakes.
Ah yes, the beautiful, tempting song of the shortcut. The promise of getting rich quick. It's one of the most powerful and dangerous traps out there, especially when you're just starting out and you're really eager to get ahead.
So picture this. You're young, you're on your first trip to America, and you're flipping through those weird late-night TV channels. An ad pops up promising to teach you all the secrets to wealth on a set of VHS tapes. That fear of missing out, that classic FOMO, it kicks in hard. You panic, you buy the course, and when the tapes finally arrive, it's just a pile of generic, completely useless information you probably already knew, a total bait and switch.
The tactic behind this whole trap has a name. It's called a sales funnel. It's designed to pull you in with some initial, often low-cost promise. But when that doesn't work, what's their solution? Oh, it's always to sell you the next, more expensive product. It's like a ladder that's designed to make you keep climbing and keep paying, moving you from a wide, cheap entry point to a very narrow, very expensive conclusion.
So how do you spot these things? You've got to look for the red flags. They're not selling you a service, they're selling you a dream, a lifestyle. They create this insane urgency, buy now before it's gone, to stop you from thinking clearly. And if you buy one thing, they immediately try to sell you something else. These are the classic signs of a sales funnel.
And this easy money trap, it shows up all the time in gambling. It starts small, a sure thing from a friend, a $500 bet on a horse race. You feel the thrill, the possibility, and then the horse comes in second. You lost.
What's your immediate instinct? I gotta win it back. This is a classic cognitive bias called chasing losses. So the next bet is double, $1,000. Your friend swears there's no way it can happen again. But it does. Another second place finish. Now you're down $1,500.
And now real panic starts to sit in. That desire to just get back to even is completely overwhelming. So you make one final desperate bet, $4,000. And this time, third place. You're left totally devastated, having turned one small mistake into a major financial disaster.
And it's not just about gambling. The exact same logic applies to so-called hot stock tips. During the dot-com bubble, a friend who was a butcher, a great guy but not exactly a financial analyst, gave a tip for a stock called Media Invest. It sounded good, but within weeks, most of that investment was just gone. The lesson here? A butcher's expertise is in steak, not stocks. You have to do your own research.
You know, that butcher's tip leads us perfectly into our third major theme, the massive cost of putting blind faith in so-called experts, especially when you're feeling vulnerable.
When you're in pain, you're an easy target. It's like walking into a spine clinic with a back injury and getting sold a full year of expensive, totally unnecessary treatments.
Or when you just don't know any better, like getting sold a $10,000 website built on outdated Flash technology, which was basically invisible to Google and couldn't sell a single thing. In both of these cases, pain and ignorance were exploited for profit.
So what are the red flags here? You have to be wary of anyone who pressures you to make a decision right now. You've got to question any magic solution that supposedly works for everybody. Demand clear pricing and know exactly what you're getting. And if you feel like your pain or your fear is being used against you, just walk away. Get a second opinion, always.
Okay, after all those warnings, let's talk about solutions. How do you actually take these lessons and build a rock-solid defense against bad purchases? This is all about turning these cautionary tales into your own personal financial turning point. Here is a simple but unbelievably powerful tool you can start using today, the 7-day rule. Before you make any significant purchase, you force yourself to wait 1 full week. No exceptions. This gives that emotional impulse, that I want it now feeling, time to cool down. And it gives you time to do some real research. After those 7 days are up, you ask yourself again, do I really truly need this? You would be shocked how often the answer is no.
You know, the real takeaway from all of this is pretty simple. A mistake is only a disaster if you don't learn from it. The goal isn't to be perfect, because nobody is. The real goal is to get a little bit smarter with every single decision you make.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Using that 7-day rule, what's one purchase you're planning on, big or small, that you will now stop and rethink this week? Because actually applying this knowledge, that's the very first step to building your fortune.